So it turns out that Oprah Winfrey's remarkable weight loss is down to her taking the appropriate drugs and not willpower, hard work, and hours at the gym. After all, well, that's for the little people, isn't it? I'm Grannyopteryx. So this is the breaking news in the Mail Online, but it's all over the place. Oprah Winfrey admits she did use weight loss medication, and she still does, by the way, for dramatic 40 pounds transformation after previously denying she would ever take Ozempic. "I'm done with the shaming," she says. Well, quite frankly, I don't think the shaming has started. I think she needs a bit more shaming. There's nothing wrong with taking Ozempic if you admit that's what you're doing. If you're telling people that you are doing this with your own willpower, that's not very honest, is it? Winfrey, 69, has lost more than 40 pounds in recent months and currently weighs 167 pounds. That's a piece of information I couldn't have got to sleep tonight without discovering. In July, the star said she would not take Ozempic and similar drugs in the class of weight loss medications because she viewed them as an easy way out. The star revealed she had taken medication before Thanksgiving and credits that's last year, that is several months before she made that denial, Thanksgiving, and credits the unnamed drug for causing her to only gain ½ pound rather than 8 pounds. Okay. Oprah Winfrey has finally admitted she's been using weight loss medication. The host has been dogged by rumours she was using medical weight loss aids for years. Said she was coming clean as she was done with the shaming after losing more than 40 pounds in recent months. This is a person who only understands the expression your truth, or indeed her truth. Her truth was that she wanted to lose the weight without taking the drugs. And so that's what she was doing. It's not just Oprah Winfrey, of course, it's many of the people in Hollywood. I read an article in the newspaper recently in which a lot of British actors had made their fortune and were going back to the United Kingdom. Because Ozzy Osbourne's one of them, but there were a couple of others. James Corden, yeah, he was another one. There were a couple of others. Because they said that they couldn't take the la 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 of La La Land any longer. And it's these sort of people. And I'm interrupting myself here to remind you to click like, to subscribe and to share. And if you're on YouTube, remember to click the notification bell. All the links to my other channels are in the description, including links to donation sites. I'm always grateful for donations, of course, but just clicking like is the best thing you can do for this video and my channel generally. And I'm reminding you that the Christmas 2023 competition is now open. The link to the video telling you all about it is also in the description. Oprah Winfrey had no problem advertising for Weight Watchers with this guy. There we are. So yeah, she's doing this. Obviously, that would be for money, and it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. It just wouldn't surprise me if we discovered that she was doing some sort of a plug for semaglutide or whatever what the Ozempic is called medically. Anyway, Ozempic, or one of the sister drugs. And she's just been dishonest. She's been dishonest in every possible way. She's being dishonest by denying she was taking it, and being dishonest by well, still denying it, because she said she had taken the medication, and it's quite obvious she must take it quite a lot. So while all the little people, the people she was fooling, her fans for whom she has very little respect, obviously, while they were busy, you know, doing their, I don't know what, 10,000 steps a day, or going up and down the stairs in their apartment blocks, and sweating around the block, and, you know, and chewing their nails instead of, or carrots. Instead of the cake they really wanted, she just, well, sticks a needle in her booty or wherever the needles go with such drugs, and she's fine. And she can go in front of all the cameras with the lights glaring at her and say, no, it's willpower. That's those drugs, they're just the easy way out. Now, they are an easy way out, but they are a necessary way out for some people. There are some people, for instance, who have diabetes, which makes you feel starving all the time. It must be torture. There are other people who have a condition that makes them feel hungry all the time, and they get enormously fat, and it's not their fault. There are also people who are bedridden or have some sort of mobility issues, and so they can't eat very much because they can't burn it off, and so they feel hungry all the time as well. There are people for whom this drug really is a golden doorway, and they should get that drug, but it's in short supply because of people like her. Now, I want to tell you something. After I had my third child, I put on an enormous amount of weight. Well, okay, I'm very short. It doesn't take much to make me look like a barrel. And I looked like a barrel for about 10 years because I refused to diet on the grounds that I had to be a mother first, and I couldn't be if I was constantly hungry and bad-tempered and all the rest of it. And then when the kids, when my third child had got to a certain age, when I thought, well, he could take care of himself at least some of the time, I then dieted. I just put myself on a super low-fat diet, and I lost the weight. Everybody kept asking me if I was on drugs. You see, there were drugs then at the time. I don't know how successful those drugs were, but, you know, I was losing the weight. And I do put on weight very easily. I just have to watch it. And the way I watch it is because I ride horses. And I wouldn't, and you know, a lot of kit is very expensive. And every time I feel like taking that piece of cake, I say to myself, you won't fit into those jobbers next week. And that's enough to put me off the cake. You just find a technique for yourself, that's all. When you're a normal, healthy person with no mobility issues, no genetic problems, no illnesses, no steroids, you know, steroids are very bad for weight, then you really can use your own willpower. You don't need to be robbing the diabetics of their Ozempic. And if you do take that stuff, you absolutely do not lie to people about it. You say, look, I'm a weak-willed jellyfish. I've got to take Ozempic because I can't do it any other way. What's wrong with saying that? She's turned it into some sort of what was it? An epiphany, a religious epiphany. Wasn't there something? There was a book once about Prozac, when doctors were dishing out Prozac all the time, and there was a book called something like Listening to Prozac. It was something like that, and it turned Prozac into a semi-religious experience, which allowed you to dose yourself with that stuff. This is the new semi-religious experience. You just stick the needle in, and you don't need to worry about willpower anymore. I'd like to be really skinny. But, you know, that stuff is for other people. And anyway, we don't know what the long-term effects of that are. So this is Oprah Winfrey now. And so here we have this poor woman who is now well, dependent on Ozempic or some such similar drug, so she can get into a thoroughly bad taste purple dress. It's a horrible dress. It doesn't suit her figure at all. She just looks dreadful. She does look slim, though. Right, so now I am going to issue an appeal. An appeal for all people like Oprah Winfrey, who even when they look slim, and even when they have, well, so much money they can afford cooks who will make them healthy meals, they never go into kitchens to have to cook for a large family and be faced with the temptation of all the food there. A woman who can pay people to supervise her diet, taking Ozempic, poor thing, and then spending all her money on a dress that looks like it came from Woolworths. Isn't that sad? And I want to show you some other images now. If you're easily triggered, don't watch now. Here is a woman who can't manage her hair and wearing a dress that's completely wrong for her at a time when she's a little bit overweight and has a rather generous bust, which is not a disability. And some people like a generous bust. And you'll see her there with this horrible dress on, with her terrible taste and her wild hair, and you just look at that. Just look at that there with all that corsetry in to hold the loose skin tight, and this awful dress for all her money. And there she is again with the satin showing every pull and fold. Isn't this sad? And here she is again. You can see it's the same taste. She's wearing a tightly stretched purple blouse, and she looks, well, common. And she just can't help herself. And she thinks that Ozempic is going to be her saviour while she's pretending to be working out. Now, isn't that a terribly sad situation? I am asking you now not to give generously, because it looks like she has plenty of her own. Till next time.